Thank you very much. I come from Colombia. I'm going to represent the Russian Federation, and now I'm going to state a question out of character. And I've had the chance to make the same question in another conferences, which is going to be a little different from the panel, the questions we've been treating. And I'm going to ask His Excellency Haji Kumar. In my country, in Afghanistan, we're facing a fierce fight against drugs. And this fight seems to be lost as far there is a lot of money being invested in weapons and other ways of fighting the problem instead of trying to make a social solution out of it. So I would like to know, His Excellency, what India considers to be the solution of this very big problems of drug consumes and drug wars in Colombia and Afghanistan and all other places in the world. Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias, amigo. Your question is a very thought-provoking one. Yes, this is a major problem, and it has to be the whole drug menace in the both countries you mentioned has to be tackled on a war front. I believe that stern measures are required. At the same time, I would like to again not point a finger, but at least the countries which are consuming these drugs, they should also realize that they should, what we talked about, knowledge, education and all, they should also spread this knowledge and education among its populace, that why are you consuming these drugs? So it is a two-way interaction. So that way, like the United States has helped your country, Colombia, to fight the drugs in the right way. Similarly in Afghanistan, but in Afghanistan, if a farmer grows a poppy and gets his money, then there has to be some alternative given to that. So that point also has to be given to that. So the government, while eradicating the drug menace, must take some development programs also. For the main purpose in India today is the development of its people. Because our greatest asset is not that we are having 9% growth or something. Our greatest asset are our people, the human resource capital. And if you use drugs, you are destroying that human resource capital. Of course, we have to make this human resource capital more educated, and we must have development in all round and inclusive. So that is my reaction to your question. Thank you.
And now the last question out of character.
I want to ask a question to Dr. Wagner concerning the topic of poverty, and I think this topic concerns us all. And my question is, do you think that maybe global minimum and maximum wages could control exploitation and reduce poverty? And is this an aim of the United Nations?
I didn't think of this. I don't regard this as very realistic, that we will see global minimum wages, even though also maximum wages. There is a very good specialized agency, the ILO, the International Labour Organization, which deals with those questions, and this has a very sensible structure. There are the states represented, but labor is also represented, so the employers and the employees have the equal say, and I think this is the right way to develop and deal with these questions. And the usual way they deal with this is to produce a convention which is open for signing and produces legally binding structures. I think the UN system would produce such a regulation in the ILO, and as labor is part of it, I do not foresee such a regulation, and I don't think it is perhaps necessary for development and would be the key question.
Thank you very much. And now we start the final round, and now we go in character, which means that we move closer to the UN simulation, and we would like to ask the 6 students that were selected for this session to ask now in their function as ambassadors.
I'm the ambassador of the United Kingdom, so obviously I'm going to ask as a representative of the country, His Excellency Mr. Kumar, and my country is that India is one of the countries for which in 2000 what they call Millennium Development Goals were set, and your country has specific targets such as women's literacy or the fight against poverty. And my question is, will India be able to fulfill these targets until 2015? And if not, what do you expect my country, the United Kingdom, to do to help them? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. But the problem is that half my problems of my country is caused by your country. You see, in the 18th century, 25% of the trade was commanded by India and China. After India was colonized, our trade percentage dropped because a lot of our best goods were taken away. Now, after 60 years of independence, we are trying to achieve, we have achieved 9% growth in the last 4 years of our GDP growth. We are trying our best to reach the Millennium Goals. We have succeeded to a large extent in abolishing mass poverty, which still is the greatest challenge to us. And how do we do it? We do it by mass education programs, by rural employment scheme program, by the urban renewal mission program. And by the way, why this new government has succeeded, because it has helped the common man in villages and cities to come up. And the rise of the middle class and others shows that we have the potential to reach the Millennium Goals. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next honorable delegate, please ask his or her question.
Thank you. Representing the delegation of South Africa, I'd like to hand over the question to Professor Dr. Harold. The global aim is to move beyond subsistence to prosperity by preserving the natural resource base and the environment. This is the most pressing development challenge we face in this century. Are there any measures that are being implemented to enhance the mentioned issue when talking about climate change in South Africa? Thank you.
Thank you very much for this question. I'm not sure if I can answer it, but taking other questions and answers that were put here into this last discussion, I would say one solution of the problems you addressed is, again, the responsibility of the developed countries, because there are two factors that come here into play. That there is an ability and an economic power to give technologies, infrastructure models and things like that to this country to give them a better start, even in respect of renewable energies and things like that. Helping these societies to develop better and to avoid the mistakes and errors that other countries have made. So we would achieve two different goals with one kind of action.
Thank you very much. Would the next honorable delegate please ask his or her question? Thank you.
Well, as I said, I'm representing Sudan in the General Assembly, and I would like to address Dr. Super. Well, if you take into consideration that national interests form an obstacle to enforce action, can a supranational organization such as the EU or the, effectively and on the long term contribute to the reduction of climate change, poverty, and financial disorder? Thank you.